All right, we're live. Just trying to get some settings set for the YouTube stream to hopefully make it so that the stream does not just randomly cut out the moment I lose connection, but we'll see if that actually works. Having trouble getting that set up. All right, let's talk with, maybe I'll ask chat this. Just mute myself for a second. There we go. I've turned auto stop off, so hopefully if I lose connection going into a valley for like 30 seconds, the stream won't die today, because I'd like to not have to restart it every half hour. Just waiting. There was a storm. I mean, you could see it right there over Calgary, but got some rumbles of thunder, saw a couple, or I think just one CG, but that storm is kind of dying now. It's not really doing anything. I was hoping that cells were going to fire right along the boundary, but there doesn't look like they're doing that. Maybe, just maybe, that cell, or that cluster of cells near Pritis right now might do something, but not overly convinced. They're pretty small cells today. There's a lot of, not a great look for severe potential, but you never know. I think the forcing is still just only just arriving now, I think. A lot of times it's not your first cell that that's the best one to chase. So we'll see. Plenty of models had a big kind of cluster of cells forming today and then heading east. What was that? I don't know. Oh. Just gonna hop out of the car for a second and get a look at that stuff near Pritis. Just get a better visual look at it. Yeah, I think the play is going to be to head further east. Probably going to get on the east side of Stony Trail, maybe even further east than that, and just see what happens. This cell has quite the updraft here, a little Pilius cap on it on this very tail end right here. So this one may be the one, because the boundary is about to hit it. So I'll be in perfect position in about 10 minutes if I head just east. Not 100% sure on the cell, but it's the only cell that's been had a wide enough sort of updraft to not just immediately die in this environment. There's quite a Pilius top on it now. Wow, that's interesting. Pretty intense updrafts are possible today. There's a lot of cape, but there's just a lot of other factors working against storms today. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's plenty of shear. There's more than enough. So all we need is a storm to just, tap into the environment, probably through some sort of boundary interaction. Good environment for large hail east of Calgary. There is a secondary target up. Actually, it looks like, I think they just issued a tornado watch a little while ago near southeast of Lloydminster on the Sask side. I was not willing to make the drive out there today. That's like a 4-hour drive out to the target area. I'm just not impressed enough to make the 4-hour drive. Plus, I cannot afford the gas for that. So, yeah. Better to chase the days that are really, really high potential that are coming up. Today's not the highest of potential I've ever seen. Not that impressed. Still, though, you never know. South of Drumheller, it could be some good stuff. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those types of days where it's like not much really happens, and then as soon as they get a little ways east of the QE2, storms just go crazy. Well, go crazy is kind of a relative term today, but we'll see. They're kind of riding the edge of the moisture given there's westerlies at the surface. Yeah, so I think I'll head towards kind of near Strathmore, just north of Strathmore. Delacour, that's not too far. Because if these storms do absolutely nothing, I'd rather not be 3 hours away from home. That's definitely a developing cell there. The stuff in behind it was kind of just vanished, but it does appear to be getting some renewed development, and as it interacts with the boundary, I'd expect that to intensify. Looks like right now the boundary's like maybe 5-10 kilometers north of this cell, so it's going to interact in the pretty near future. I don't think it's already interacting because it's pretty close to the radar, so you'd be able to tell. Tons of stuff, all those cells up near Didsbury, Cremona, they looked promising initially, but they're just, I don't think the forcing was there when the boundary came through, so they just couldn't really latch on. The thing today is that the cells have to be reasonably mature in order to latch onto this boundary, and basically that prevents any cell except for this one and maybe the ones near Pritis from actually latching onto the boundary. Everything else will just have to be out on its own, away from the really good forcing. It's a lot cooler up here though. Currently measuring 24 on the car.
Let's pull over by this lake here.
There's just Team Dominator talking. I'll mute it if they say anything that's private. Just had to give it a little chat. This is really weird. I wish you could see this right now. I think you can, ever so slightly on the stream. Right on that left side, there's like a, that's obviously right on the boundary. There's like a secondary like cumulus cloud below the main cumulus cloud. That's really, really weird. There's like literally like a double stacked cumulus. You have an entire cumulus cloud below the other cloud. It's almost like a wall cloud, but it's like not even really towering it at all. That's clearly the boundary is like right there then. That's interesting. This updraft though is going up pretty quick, so I'd really keep an eye out if you're east of Calgary towards Delacour area and east of there. Doesn't look like it's producing hail yet, or at least nothing that bad, but yeah, I'd be careful. Just like that guy, be careful biking on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, we'll go east. Or should I take, you know what, I'm gonna take Stony. I hate all these lights around Cross Iron. Yeah, pretty juicy updraft there. I wouldn't doubt that once the boundary hits it, it's gonna really, really get a lot more intense pretty quickly. Or it could just fizzle. Who knows? First attempt of convection with all that lightning just vanished. Didn't really do anything. There also is some stuff on the right here, so it's worth keeping an eye on as well. Once I'm off the major highways, I'll try to get a Kestrel measurement too. It looks like a small hail shaft on the left side right now, probably about pea-sized. Might not even be making it to the ground because it's so hot. Man, these guys are going kind of slow. Nice high-based updraft here. A little bit of an inflow tail almost in behind it too. If this thing starts to pull into 17-degree dew points, it could be a lot more interesting. I originally had zero intention of chasing today, but moisture uptrended a fair amount this morning. And the cells, honestly, it's not that far away. It's pretty low stakes chase day, so here I am. Let's see if I can get some golf balls today. I wouldn't expect hail much bigger than I don't know. Today doesn't seem like a baseball-sized hail type of day, but you never know. Further up towards Lloydminster. Usually there's kind of a cutoff where you need hail, or you need temperatures of at least about 25 degrees for the inflow of storms for them to produce baseballs. Like, I've never seen baseball-sized hail when it's only like 19 degrees at the surface. That just doesn't really happen, regardless of how high the dew point is. But today the temperature is more than there, so, and there's about 2,000 joules of MLK, which is pretty high for Alberta, so yeah, very well could happen for some bigger hail. that is really weird on the left side there. That little secondary, like, double cumulus still there. That's really weird. Rained here. Obviously, there's it's from the cell before.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 68 for Country Hills Boulevard.
Country Hills.
Your route may be affected by yellow watch, severe thunderstorm.
That's why I'm here. Why are you doing like 90? Not even 90. 80.
In 800 meters, take exit 68 for Country Hills Boulevard.
Even more houses being built here. Give it 3 years before they get just demolished by hail, probably.
Take exit 68.
This single area right here on the corner of northeast corner of Stony Trail, it's probably one of the most
In 800 meters,
probably one of the most hail-prone areas in the province. They just get a ridiculous amount of hail around here. Stop sign, not even a light. Wow. Got some hail definitely coming out of this cell now. Might not be reaching the ground yet, but it will. Again, very small hail, I bet. But it may get bigger further east. Wow, that little wall cloud thingamajig is it's towering now. It's actually a healthy looking tower, not a turkey tower like the previous attempts. I think this convection is going to ramp up really quickly here. Maybe not that one specifically, but this cell probably will. Oh man, yeah, oh, it's going big. Yeah, the cell is updraft is more than big enough to avoid the dry air entrainment issues that you'd be seeing on any little tiny updrafts right now. This cell is probably going to be severe north of Strathmore. Not yet though. Oh wow. You see the Strathmore radar, not the best one to be looking at right now since this cell's right next to Strathmore radar. But the further away radars like Carvel are actually really good for these types of storms. Because you can get about a 10-minute lead time on what the storm is doing by looking at way up high in the updraft. If it's going up and if it's getting bigger and more intense, that tells you your storm is rapidly intensifying. That rain may literally take several minutes to fall from up in the cloud down to the ground. Plus, it may not have fully condensed further down yet. So, oh, CG. Yeah, this cell's rapidly intensifying. Yeah, I'd really keep an eye on the sky if you're north of Strathmore right now. a very healthy look. Very, very healthy look for an early stage storm. I think it's starting to feel the influence of that boundary. See if it can actually latch on and move parallel to the boundary, because that's where it's gonna feel that sustained influence. Because there's a big difference between cells that feel the boundary and then the boundary passes through and then they're done, and others that can go parallel to the boundary. Whenever you get a discrete storm moving parallel to a boundary, that's usually when you get really interesting and usually intense interactions. Look at this, wow. All these fields out here are normally bone dry. Normally they're just little mud patches. Sign of a very, very wet year. That's what's feeding these storms. This area is a bit of a swamp sometimes, but most years it's dry. It's only the odd year that it's pretty wet out here.
Hey Mark, do me a favor and just give me a heads up before you stop, because I'm blinded by this flower.
Just had to send some messages to the team over voice, of course. Yeah, it's looking good. Definitely some hail in here right now. It's starting to develop a little bit of a hail core. So, I mean, I could sample it. I may actually just drive right through the hail core, trying to get east right now. So, yeah, definitely an intensifying cell. Probably should have gotten gas a little while ago. Only 2/3 of a tank. Oh yeah, we got 60 dBz on Strathmore radar, so the hail's reaching the surface now. Again, it hasn't had long enough to make any big hailstones yet, but maybe it will soon. Usually takes about 20 minutes for the decently big hail to cook up, so 20 minutes from now there might be a lot bigger hail, probably severe hail. Still a healthy looking updraft though, I think. Kind of under it now, can't really see it anymore. Surprised it's not raining heavier, like right next to it. My God. Come on, it can't be that bad. It's not that bad. Wow, Peleus cloud on the cell just to the north, the little weird cumulus. These things are wanting to really take off. They're feeling that full forcing, and the environment is just ready for them to go. The LCLs are so high today that these cells are probably going to be pretty outflowy. Going to be hard for them to sustain inflow when it's this dry, but that's where the boundary comes in. Got some heavy rain coming up in about a minute. You can see it up ahead near the power lines. Yep, there's the rain up ahead. Be stuck in the mist behind these guys. Can't quite pass them either. You getting some hail already. We'll see. I think these storms are supposed to move straight east, so I'm not going to get demolished by big hail again. Not like last chase. Really heavy rain up ahead. Fat raindrops. Former hailstones. Oh, there's hail. I just saw one. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's hail. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hail. There we go. Pretty small. That's not too big. Very, very soft hailstones as well. Yeah, little guys. I don't even know if these are big enough to be considered hailstones. They might not have reached the threshold. They're like 3 or 4 millimeter stones. Nice car wash though. Alright guys, let's go. Sorry bro. rumbling. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of small hail. All out downpour. Out of it. Yeah. Cute little hail core. Let's get into the clear air ahead of this thing and maybe get a better visual on it. Absolutely juicy environment all around right now. I question if storms might just be firing north of the boundary in an hour or two anyway. Still gonna keep up with this one for now. Man, this rain is... Oh! Big CG on the right. Can't really hear it when I'm driving. There we go. I'd rather go straight east than drop south of this thing. Q field to the east. Wow. There was, not anymore. Far enough ahead to get a little view of this thing. Go like 1 or 2 more miles. Chris. He used to have the Mini. I don't know if he has it anymore. Okay, at the top of this hill, if there's a pull off on the right, I'll take it. I don't know about that first one. I think there's another one. You know what? I don't think so. I'll take it. Better than nothing. Actually, I'm not going to take it. Cell reception is junk here. Go up to the next corner. Yeah, cell is really, really struggling. It's too bad. It looked like it was going to take off. Cell reception is just terrible out here. It's all these little hills. Yeah, it's tough. Next road will be better, I think. Reception should come back. Horse is going for a swim. Yeah, it just might not have been quite enough to get this storm going. Okay, I think the stream is back. I think it's good. Let's see. How's she looking? Bumpy. Okay, I'll pull in here. Oh, this is perfect. Couldn't ask for a better pull off than this. It's like 3 cars wide. Looks like I lost the stream there. I'm not really sure why. OBS just crashed on me. But I think I'm back. As long as the signal's not horrible. Let's just listen, see if it's back. Perfect. Thank you, Courtney. Saw your message there. Yeah, just gonna sit here for a little bit and wait. Not going too far if these cells don't want to do it today. Yeah, looking on the Carvel radar, it's really wimpy updraft. Like, it was looking strong, but it's just, yeah, it's wimpy. We're not in the outflow yet, still 24 degrees. But yeah. Plenty of storms over Calgary right now. Yeah, that cell north of this one has been north of the boundary. It's just kind of chilling there. Oh. Some thunder. Oh, that's a lot of mosquitoes. Yeah, we're not leaving those open. I mean, pretty much every model ever had a cluster of storms here, but the question is whether they're actually any good or they're just kind of slop. It does have, the HRDPS has an environment of around 2,000 to 3,000 joules of SB cape, you know, around 1,500 to 2,000 ml cape, so pretty good environment around here. These storms just aren't tapping into it quite yet, because you don't get 2,000 ml cape with storms that are only producing, you know, dime-sized tail. Like, that just doesn't happen. Nice little updraft. Kind of the storm in behind this one does have a nice little base on it. See if it actually holds together. The storm is cooking the environment, but it's not, honestly not that bad, since, you know, it is pretty overmixed ahead of this ahead of these storms. Pretty robust cumulus though, still, even just north of this cell. Northerly surface wind, so it shouldn't matter too much if this cell wipes out the environment further south. Might just have to keep going east. You can see on kind of the right side there, I'm actually going to turn the car a bit. There's like a pretty juicy updraft there with Pilius on top of it. That one's north of the boundary. I think it's just a matter of waiting. The cell may die, but the one in behind it should take its place. Pretty impressed by the fact that storms are actually firing in Calgary in like an 8 degree, at best, 8 degree dew point. Yeah, it's only 12 degree dew point a little further east. It's not great. Ooh, that's a fun machine. Practically drive this car right under that thing. Yeah, I can't use the RFS today. It's not really any good, not very accurate. Maybe the 18Z, we'll see. Yeah, the RFS has a pretty big cell, kind of right at the edge of its range, which would be just north of Calgary. Not overly convinced by that though. Let me check last night's modeled runs, see if they're any good. Getting pretty hot in here. Still 24 out. Yeah, the FV3 is a big fan of today, or at least last night's FV3. I don't really buy that. Yeah, this is it for convective potential, I think, along this line. This is pretty much the main round today around Calgary. There will still be stuff up near Lloydminster, but I'm not even convinced if Edmonton is gonna get much around there. Might be dealing with some smoke issues further north. I'm not sure why it's not really doing anything up there. pretty rock solid boundary there, or a rock solid base there for crappy storms. That's weird. It's like looking like it might be a bust today, but I don't know. I don't know if it's quite time to pull the plug yet. Gonna mute the stream and save some data, but yeah, I'll be back when I make a decision on whether to stay out here or not. Tractor. Wondering if this base right straight ahead of me is a left mover. Might be a left mover interacting with the boundary right here. I bet you it's gonna uptick in reflectivity in a second. Nice CG there. Basically coming right for me. Need one more radar frame. It'll arrive in a minute or so. Bit of an uptick though. Okay, yeah, just got the next radar frame. I think the rain would stop the mosquitoes, but no. Whoa, trying to go in my mouth. That's crazy. You could see this kind of left mover. I don't think it's even elevated. I think it's just, it's on the warm side, and then you can see right where that power pole is. Of course, it's right there. I'm actually gonna move the car so I can see this boundary better, or see that little mini updraft better. But it's like, yeah, you've got the rain cooled, or not really rain cooled, just a cooler side of the boundary there with that little cell going up. And then you've got this left mover on the warm side. LCL is like way different. That's really neat. You can see like there's a lot of spin and a good amount of shear there, but there's just not much instability, not enough to sustain an updraft. That's the type of spot where if you had like 200 joules of 3 cape or more than that, you'd get a tornado right there straight ahead. But I just don't think there's enough instability right now. Yeah, it's kind of spinning away there. That's really neat. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any interaction between the left mover and that. I think the left mover is just going to destroy it. Might not even be a left mover. It might just be going fully linear. I don't know. It's too bad. If there's just that much more instability, that would turn into a beautiful supercell right there. Still 24 degrees. This cell didn't really destroy the environment all that much. You can literally see the shear on the left side there. Like the boundary is right there. That's really neat. It's almost like a shear funnel kind of wrapping around on the left, a little bit higher there. Just to the right of the power pole. You could see how a tornado like Didsbury happened with this same sort of type of boundary where it was just cool, but really humid air on the north side, and then really hot, warm air on the south side. And then just right on that boundary, there's all that junky scud on the left side. That's where there's all that vorticity. And it just pulled all that right up together into an updraft and turned into a huge tornado. Obviously, this one's not going to do that. It's barely pulling through the cap right now, but you could see how that would happen if there were just a little bit more instability right there. But unfortunately, these cells have just demolished the environment to the south here. And to the north, there's just not much instability. Funny because there's an updraft happily going up in behind this cell. No trouble going up and behind. Which that one looks like it's north of the boundary, but still probably fired off the boundary. This one just doesn't want to do it. Not enough energy. What is it out there? 24 over 15 probably. Looks like it's pulling less and less directly off the boundary. Probably starting to feel the influence of this storm to its south. Yeah, I'll give these storms like 15 more minutes to get their act together. .6 kilometer tops on the southern cell there. That one is just outside of Calgary. Might have to just bail and go for that one, I think. Yeah, because this one's not going to produce. Kind of failing along the boundary here. There actually is a Q field further south as well. Dew points are actually pretty solid, really thin moisture, but they're really good dew points further south. Oh, CG on my left. Yeah, these cells are just a complete blob fest. That cell in behind there is starting to show up on Carvel. You can barely see it's a little overexposed on the camera, but there is a little updraft there. Carvel doesn't have it, but Strathmore does. Wondering if north of the boundary might be the play. That cell is going to have to deal with this environment, but it's only barely. Stuff near De Winton and Indus, just southeast of Calgary, looks like a bit of a slop fest. Oh, double. That was nice. Wow. Too bad the windshield, I don't know, the wipers might have ruined it. That was good. Double CG. That's going to be loud. Or not. There we go. Yeah, I'm really liking the look of that updraft there. Nothing too crazy, but you never know. Not further away from home. Get a photo of that. Smells like cows out there. Man, this is gonna suck when this left split just demolishes that poor little cute supercell developing there. That's gonna be heartbreaking. I'm gonna go drive just a little bit north, reposition. Were there not this giant left mover here? It's barely left moving, but it's left moving enough to screw things up. Were this thing not here, it'd be a lot better, I think. Go north. Alright. Guy's just chilling here. There's totally a little wall cloud under that thing. That's crazy. It's small, but it's there. That's so cool. Stop here and get a photo of it. That's so cool. Little LP. That supercell has about 5 minutes before it just gets demolished by this left mover. That's so unfortunate. Broke through the cap, did everything it was supposed to, but this left mover is just destroying it. There's two of them. gonna get up to this next road and be ready to go east. If this left mover dies and screws off, then these storms might have a chance, but I have a feeling the left mover is just gonna destroy them. It may have high tops, but that cell further south, I'm not very interested in it. It's too linear. Like, when you see updrafts that are that juicy, it's usually a good sign. They just have a lot of cold air to pull through at the surface. Wow. From this stupid left mover. Okay, I think it's back. Yeah, audio's back. I've been having trouble with my phone. For whatever reason, the Wi-Fi tethering, obviously off the hotspot, just randomly stopped. And then, yes, the stream died. I didn't realize it for a couple of minutes. So right now I'm operating off Wi-Fi rather than USB tethering. And the signal here sucks, so... Yeah, I'm not sure here. Could get a tornado out of this. It's spinning pretty hard. Well, LP supercell, very much surface based. Had some cold rain coming, or not cold rain, but had rain coming down a little bit ago. But we're right back up, all the way back up to probably about 22, 23 degrees right now. This felt like it was struggling, and it was a bit elevated for a bit, but it may. You never know. This could produce. Having a hard time telling. There's a lot of rising motion on the right there. It kind of has the look. Is this Matt? Oh, I think it's Matt. Yeah, that's Matt. Cool, Mr. Melnick. Yeah, some good spin in here. Gonna go check it out. Get a quick photo or video. strong surface-based instability right here. This wet ground from the rain is just putting off a ton of moisture. The cloud base there is like, I don't know, 300-400 meters probably, maybe a little bit higher than that, maybe 500 meters. It's very low base. Huge pileus tops on this thing. This thing, it's looking a little interesting. I think what I'm gonna do is go just a little bit north and a little bit east. If this thing does produce, I would like to 0 meter it or get close to it. Yeah, I don't know. Line between this thing just doing absolutely nothing and producing a tornado, because it's probably pulling off an environment of a ridiculous amount of right now. And when you see rising motion like that associated with rotation under supercells, it takes shockingly little for it to spin up like something. This thing is clearly pulling through the clearly surface based, because the air there is only a couple hundred meters off the ground. It's rising, so it's clearly surface based. Yeah, you never know. This thing could potentially produce. It's like another 10-15 minutes. Feeding off that low level instability right now. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. I could tell the Wi-Fi is not working nearly as well as the USB tethering, so I'm not too sure. It's just Apple being annoying, I think. Pull off if there's a thing on the left here. Oh, is that the Strathmore radar? I think it is. Yeah, it is Strathmore radar right up ahead on the right. Yeah, I'll get near this canola field and wow, it is humid. Oh my god. It's so humid. Like, it's not even that hot. I am dripping in sweat. This is weird. Like the rain came through and then now it's just ridiculously humid. Okay, we'll pull off on the left or right, wherever I can, right here. Whew, it is humid. Back in here. I need to get a shot with this canola here. Okay, once again, power pole right in the middle of where I need it to be. That sucks. Yeah, it's spinning a little bit less now than it was. Still looking good though.